Hey, what's going on, team? So instead of the daily walk, we're doing the daily step right now because we are improvising. Love it, love it. So what I wanted to talk to you about is what kind of drugs are you dealing right now? Because I might want some. So here's what I'm talking about. Right now, we are all charged with the task, and some of us are dealing dope for the brain and others around us, and some of us are dealing hope. So if you listen to yesterday's daily walk, I talked to us about how to deal hope. So what do I mean? What do I mean dope? How can I accuse me or anyone else of dealing dope? What am I talking about? Well, right now in your brain has the same chemical reaction to a lot of our surroundings and a lot of the inputs that we put in that drugs have on that effect. Okay, so for example, dopamine, norepinephrine, epinephrine, serotonin can all be affected. A lot of those are mood hormones, by the way, can all be affected by what we hear, what we see, and what we expose our brain to, just like they could be affected by dope. So if right now we are talking about scarcity, negative, victim mentality, hopelessness, we are in essence dealing out dope for the brains of those around us and our own brain. So how do we deal more in hope? So instead of scarcity, we talk about what we have in abundance. Instead of negative, we talk about positive. Instead of playing the victim, we play the victor. And instead of talking about how hopeless things are, we talk about how hopeful our future is. So those are some things that we could be dealing dope with our words, or we could be dealing hope with our words. So the other thing is that we deal, one or the other, is we could be dealing dope in our actions, or we could be dealing hope in our actions. So right now, we're either not acting at all, we're paralyzed. That's dealing dope. Someone sees us paralyzed, just not taking any action, not doing anything. That is subconsciously and consciously dealing dope to their brains, because they're saying, maybe I should be paralyzed too. Maybe I should just not do anything right now too. So there's a friend of mine, Dave, and he is doing so many awesome things in his action that doesn't even realize what he's doing this. What he's doing is he already has a really nice house. It's actually beautiful, pretty new. He's redoing his entire house. Him and his 4 amazing girls and his amazing wife, they're out like redoing the deck. They're putting up drywall. They're painting the garage. They're trimming the lawn. They're always doing. Whenever I go to this guy's Facebook, he's always doing something. It's awesome. They're exercising. They're doing walking lunges as a family. There's no paralyzation in that family at all. And how that deals hope is every time I see him doing action, I'm like, ooh, I want to go ahead and clean my garage. I want to take action too. Whenever I see this guy, you guys can check out his Facebook or his Instagram account, Dave Bowers. It's absolutely amazing. So the second thing that we might be doing to deal dope is we're waiting it out. Waiting it out. We'll just wait and see. So what happens? All those around us, they start taking that dope for their brain, and they just, I'm going to be wait and see. I'm going to wait and see. Okay? Instead of pushing forward, just like I was talking about with Dave, there's no wait and see there. There's no wait and see. There's action, action, action. Do, go. It's amazing. Some of us are bound in fear. If we're bound in fear, that's dealing dope. Well, here's the thing. You don't have to get over fear. You just have to work through fear. So if people say, if you're telling people, hey, you know what, I am fearful, but I'm not paralyzed, I'm not waiting it out, I'm not bound in fear, I'm working through the fear. Now you just went from a dope dealer to a hope dealer. Okay, so remember, you're either dealing dope right now to people's brains and your own brain and your own identity. What kind of dope might you be taking into your own brain instead of hope? So instead of dealing dope, guilt, deal hope, forgiveness of yourself, of other people maybe. Instead of dealing shame, which would be dope, deal reconciliation, deal moving forward. Instead of dealing dope as far as paralyzation or fear, okay, fear is the biggest dope that could be peddled right now, and it's being sucked in by so many brains. Fear. Instead of dealing fear, which is dope, dealing in progress. Progress in any realm of life. Progress in your business, progress in your marriage, progress in your faith, progress in your home chores. There is always inches. There's millions of inches out there for us to seize right now. It doesn't have to be miles. People don't need to see milestones right now. They need to see inch stones. They need to see you growing forward 1 inch at a time, and that's going to fill themselves with the hope that you really want to deal. And lastly, to kind of sum everything up, some of us just need to detox. Some of us have had so much fear, so much paralyzation, so much victim mentality in us. It's time to detox that out. It's time to go put the catheter in and get it out. And how you get it out is who you are choosing to follow right now. Are you following dope dealers? You might have to say, like George Bush, in the 80s, say no. Just say no. Remember when they would put the egg? This is your brain on drugs, and it would fry the egg. Some of us need to get our brains away from that and into more hope dealers, into rehab and detoxification, and then we're gonna start our forward journey. All right, rock and roll. You guys have an amazing, hopeful, productive, and growth-centered rest of your day.